Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms Demand Action, Gunsmiths Legislation, Healthcare for All, Medicare for All, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Hello, this is Jenny James Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms Demand Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is Coffee Pan Dulce time, and it is 2026.
Wow.
2026, y'all.
Made it.
We slid across that finish line. Probably slid into that bar a little bit, but it's okay. We've at least got over the hump, so to speak. We're halfway through the midterm of this crazy dystopian presidency. But we're here. It's January 7, 2026. This is the first episode of the year, official episode, and we are got some great things coming up we'll talk about later on in our commercial breaks. And stay tuned. And most of all, Christian, take it away.
Yes, as Gersemi said, welcome everyone. 2026, we made it. I want to congratulate everyone. I hope you enjoyed. As she mentioned, this is Coffee and Pan Dulce. I want to welcome those who join us on Facebook Live and those who watch us on your favorite audio podcast or listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. As Gersemi said, we have made it. 2026, y'all. We tape her show before we start taping this one bi-weekly, and we are on, and it feels like it. It's the beginning, I hope, of the end of this crazy chaos of the Trump era. So there is some good news. I think we can say that. So I want to thank everyone who's joining us today. If you did watch our live show, we hadn't done a live show in such a long time. If you did watch it, I hope you enjoyed it. It was on New Year's Eve. I guess we could have almost called it the grievance part of the Festivus show. I'm full disclosure, we're recording this in advance, so I don't actually know what we're going to talk about on that live show, but I get this feeling because it's going to be our last show of 2025. But it was called, we titled it Goodbye, Felicia. So,
we're over it.
Bye, Felicia. So I hope you enjoyed that show. And as Gersemi said, you'll be seeing a lot of new wonderful things coming up in 2026 with us. And so don't forget to share us, like us, subscribe to us when that becomes available, and hopefully it'll become available very soon. Just for a less than a cup of coffee a day, you can watch bonus content. Gersemi, why don't you tell them a little bit about what we think was going to happen in 2026? So go ahead.
Well, obviously we've already started it by the time that you see this show. But look onto our social media, onto our Instagram and our Facebook, and it'll tell you how to get involved if you choose to. If you enjoy this content, have enjoyed it and been a long time listener or viewer, this is going to be some extra content. It's bonus content. What I call the icing on top of the cake, so to speak, the cherry on the top of the sundae. There's going to be the highlights of some of our best shows and some new content, some brand new content, but shorter format, a little bit more lively, a little bit more high intensity, more towards the funny side, the probably less rants, but maybe more funny rants. Basically the best of. And what we're hoping is that we can gather all of our fruits and nuts together and make us a nice little fruit basket here for you guys to enjoy and see the zaniest and funniest sides of us. And as a reward and for that extra work, we're going to have a small subscription fee, and it's going to be very small, less than a cup of coffee for a whole month's worth of entertainment. And we're going to do specialized drops throughout the month. So you'll be able to look into your membership packet and do that online or listen to it online, however you choose to partake. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised at the content we put on there. And got a special year coming up. And it's, I think it's also, Christian and I talked about this at length for quite a while in 2025. And we want to give our lawyer listeners and viewers kind of a reward. Kind of like an extra jolt to get you through your month. Kind of like a nice relaxer, like a drink, alcoholic drink, but without the hangover.
That's right.
And
that's
so
right.
we're hoping that this is going to be it's almost like an extra shot of espresso.
Yeah. Extra shot of espresso. That's a good one. Extra shot of espresso. So I want to give just one last shout out again to the wonderful producer, director, writer, actor Dale Shores. That was on. We had a 2-part episode, and it did very well. His second part dropped on New Year's Eve, and so I want to thank him so much for his generous time for coming on our show and also coming on your show as well. And so it was wonderful. Hopefully, we'll have him back in 2026, and he'll tell us how that his play, the world premiere of the Recipe Box. The Recipe Box is the name of it. The world premieres in February of 2026. So if you have a chance, you're in the Birmingham area, go out and see it. I think it's also going to be premiered in Austin, Texas, and I'm sure it's going to be another big hit. And who knows? We'll be able to go down in history and say we interviewed him before they, maybe there'll be a character of you and I in one of his.
Oh boy!
Yeah,
we may show up eventually. You never know.
That's right. That's right. All right. So listen, let's start 2026. I want to thank everyone who's made it. Listen, it's going to be a great year. I've got this great feeling about 2026. At least it's going to be better than 2025. Let's say that. I think we can all agree on that.
We hope so.
Yeah, we hope so. So let's jump directly into Barb's current events.
And this is Barb's current events.
All right, Gersemi, I've got 3 for you. The very first one, CNN did one of the reporters, and I really admire CNN because I know they're a cable news network and they tend to lean a little bit more progressive than conservative. I don't think they do, but I think MSNBC is really, really progressive or more left. And then CNN's kind of a little bit leaning. Anyway, big long story short, they did a top 25 lies of Donald Trump for 2025. And you gotta check out that list. Google it. The top 25 lies of Donald Trump for 2025. They are, if it wasn't true, it would just be like comedy. I know you and I talk about this all the time, that it's like daily craziness. And so just check that out. I don't know if you want to even comment on that. The next one is the state of Kentucky, which is traditionally a red state that voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump in 3 elections, actually. Their bourbon industry is dramatically suffering because of Trump's tariffs. And there's rumors that Trump doesn't care because Rand Paul is their senator, and also Mitch McConnell is the senator of Kentucky. So the rumor is that I think those are they the senators of Kentucky? Anyway, the story is that he's purposely trying to ruin their bourbon industry to punish them. And so that's the second one. The last one, and there was an article, a very in-depth article that came out investigating the groundwater usage in the state of Arizona. And it turns out the biggest entity of using groundwater in the state of Arizona are these huge farms that farm wheat that are owned by the Saudi government. And they are pulling out so much groundwater that it's lowering the table for everyone else in Arizona. It's actually lowered the earth in Arizona like a half inch. And so they're now trying to look at passing legislation, regulating the groundwater usage. The reason this is really important, and I don't know if people have remember this, but the state of Texas, just like Arizona, just like a lot of those southern states, the southwestern states, they don't have a lot of groundwater. And when it rains, it doesn't rain like it does here in North Carolina. It rains flash flood wise. And because it rains flash flood wise, it doesn't allow the water to sink into the ground, like into the water level. It flows, it just flows, and it doesn't allow it to sink into the ground. And so their groundwater, they estimate in the state of Texas, for an example, they only have about 30 years of groundwater with their population growth. So they need to make some drastic changes on what they do in Texas. Whereas a state like North Carolina, where I currently live, has about 70 years of groundwater. And so they are predicting that industries that require a lot of water, like you mentioned the AI facilities, the battery facilities, a lot of the tech facilities, manufacturing that need a lot of water to cool their systems, are going to be moving to states like North Carolina, Virginia, a lot of areas that have a lot more groundwater. So those are the three. I know that's a lot to start off 2026. Do you have any comments or thoughts on those?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, the Arizona is still, I'm not surprised. I mean, you have a president and his son-in-law that have accepted billions of dollars from the Saudi royal family.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that insidious things are happening in the United States because of that buying of influence. There's, I mean, why should they pillage their water in Saudi Arabia that's so scarce when they can pillage it here? Because we're stooges. We allow this to happen. And so I'm not shocked at all. And why are they growing wheat in Arizona is beyond me.
I guess they're sending it back to them.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's no doubt that they would come to our deserts to grow their crops instead of growing it in their own desert.
Exactly.
But it's not the smartest ag policy in the world. But then again, we are run by idiots. The bourbon industry, just like with a lot of the liquor industries, has always struggled a little bit. And then the tariffs and just the economy in general is not making it real great for liquor companies. And quite frankly, also they're getting a lot more competition from the THC companies too, among other things. And a lot of people are not wanting to drink as much. So the alcohol industry has really struggled and leveled off in the last probably 10 or 20 years. As far as Trump trying to get revenge to the two Kentucky senators, I don't know if he's that smart. I don't even know if the people that work for him are that smart. I don't think they're that clever. I think I think he enjoys if those two guys suffer because he's mad at them for whatever reason, whatever tantrum the big man child with the little pickle is going through that day. He's mad at everybody at any one given moment, until somebody changes his diaper. CNN's top 25 lies. Oh yeah, I mean they easily could do a top 25.
Exactly, he could do like a top 1,000.
Yeah, I mean nobody would read that much, but I mean, yeah, it's life entertaining art. It's like we're in a continuous Simpsons and South Park episode, but in real life.
It is
because our government has gotten so zany between Holy Mike, Trump, RFK Jr., Toulouse, I'm a spy for the Russians, Gabbard, the Pete K. Stan, like you go down the list, and the ones that aren't holding an office or an appointed office, like the Indian guy that ran Versace or whatever his name.
Oh yeah,
Versace.
now he's running for Ohio governor, or trying to.
He's going to win that.
No, he's not. Yeah,
because like Indian people are so popular in Ohio.
Exactly.
That should do well. He runs in a political party that is 90% plus white.
Yeah.
And the other 10% think they're white.
Yeah.
There's pretty much a monochromatic political party. Even if you're black, you're still an Oreo if you're in the Republican Party. Like you don't like black people if you're a black Republican. Like if you're a gay Republican, you must obviously not like LGBT people.
Yeah.
If you're a Republican and queer, you hate your own because you hate everybody but white men. Because that's what this party is situated for. And wealthy white men it does. And they hate everybody else. They hate women, well, mostly because they're mostly down low gay. But like you're talking about a group that lives a life. So it's not shocking. I mean, look at everything that Trump says he is, and look at everything that he actually is.
Yeah, it's all so, and sorry to interrupt you, but and actually we're going to be talking about this a lot more on next week's show, because you brought up a topic that I thought was just fascinating, and we've never really deep dived into it. It was about the MAGA women and how they look very transgender and drag queenish, and how they're almost morphing into more of a drag queen than actual drag queens with their makeup and everything. And I wish we had like a psychologist or sociologist or someone on, what drives them to look like that. But next week, I think we want to talk about that a little bit more. But today we're going to be talking about, can we save America? So we'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire that used to be the state of Florida. And we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Hey y'all, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and your favorite audio podcast platforms. You can catch your special editions of Coffee and Pan Dulce as always. And we appreciate y'all listening. And we're going to do more episodes. We're going to do some zany things in 2025. And most of all, we're going to have lots of fun as always. Thanks for listening. And look for the new shows. Appreciate it. Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching. And support local black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo Bakery. That has some fabulous pastries, food, king cakes, all kinds of specialty cakes, swallows, and much, much more. Some of the best food you eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo's Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, everybody, for watching Coffee and Pan Dulce. Jenny and Chris had an amazing talk right there. And this is Yorense from Espera Que. Our show is on Thursdays, 7 p.m. on every podcast places you get podcasts, brain fart. But if you want to listen to me doing brain farts and having hot takes and leftist takes and just screaming at the shitty burning world we are living in, come over to Espera Que. You're going to have a fun time.
So I have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching, as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry about that. I'm looking for an earplug it's almost like when people lose an earring, they're like, "Where's my earring?" And so, apologize for that. Anyway.
Well, that was a family heirloom too.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, we're going to talk about can America be saved 2026? And I'll be honest with you. That's one of the reasons I think I was so anxious to get through 2025, because I knew that was a year that we just had to get through to minimize as much damage as because he did a lot of damage. I mean, it's just amazing, from the federal government to Social Security. There's reports now that all these Social Security things have been damaged so much with him, how just the infrastructure of the Social Security Administration does not work because of the amount of people that was laid off. Now, if people want to appeal Social Security, they can't do it online. They have to go to an office, but he closed so many offices that now it's like 100 miles away they have to go, which means most people just won't even bother. And we're dealing with seniors. So these aren't people that are completely technologically advanced, like maybe younger generations. So there's a lot of, from the Department of Education to the Veterans Administration, there's so much damage that was done in 2025, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are on how in 2026, maybe that's why I have so much optimism for 2026, because I just feel like everyone is ready to clean house, I hope. And I know we can't clean house with the presidency yet unless we impeach him and put him in jail or something, which is probably not going to happen. Impeach him maybe, but put him in jail is not going to happen while he's in office. But at least we can maybe clean house as far as Congress and Senate. I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think it's about the only thing we can hope for is that we, that we continue the winning trend on the state level. I know, a problem like what we've done, that we've created, it's the United States' its own fault. We have to, it's like when you look at a really large task, like if you went to go and eat an elephant, you wouldn't eat the whole thing at once. Mm-hmm. You have to look at little steps, little changes. We've been under this MAGA cloud since at least 2016.
Yeah, feels like.
And what it's brought to us over this last 10 years has been controversy, death, destruction, normalizing the craziest of behaviors. Mm-hmm. And a couple things that we got to do different in 2026 is we've got to stop normalizing what this is.
Yeah.
And as Democrats and or progressives or liberals, we've got to hold our media accountable, and we've got to hold our political parties accountable, especially ours. We have the most say with the Democrats. So we also need to hold them more accountable, and we need to vote in primaries accordingly, which are coming up really soon.
Yeah.
And we've got to make good choices. We've got to ask the right questions. We've got to force the change. And most of all, we've got to get out and participate. And this is the other thing, is we got to participate at record numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you turn a ship around and end stuff like this is, how Germany turned it around and did not have decades of Nazism. Mm-hmm. Is that they fundamentally changed their society to be very harm-reducing and they didn't allow it to even be normalized. They didn't want it normalized. They did not want fascism, Nazism to be associated with Germany anymore. And so they didn't allow it to be. It was as if Hitler never existed in their society. And they cleanse themselves of the insanity. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to have to begin is right now we have to recognize what problem we have, How
Sure.
we've normalized putting a rapist and career criminal in the role of the president of the United States, and how big of a failure he is.
Yeah. You made an excellent point on your show that we recorded earlier today about, just about a lot of things. But one of the things that really stuck with me, and I completely agree with you, Gersemi, is we, like you said, we've been going through this since 2015, 2016. And it feels like just a terrible, it feels like I don't know, we've been dealing with it for almost a decade now. When Trump leaves, which he's going to leave, when he leaves, we have an opportunity, and I think that's kind of I think that's what you're saying, is we have an opportunity to kind of cleanse. America has an opportunity to cleanse ourselves and make sure that not only do we fill in those gaps that he highlighted, the loopholes that he was able to tear down the East Wing and to do the crazy stuff. I apologize, all the crazy shit that he's done. We have to look back and we have to say we've got to make sure that we never allow someone to be able to do this again. We need to pass legislation to block it. We need to, like you said, look at term limits, look at things like how his family has fleeced America. We have to really, those were almost, I think most Americans, I don't know what you think about this, most average Americans, even myself, I assumed a lot of that was very cut and dry, that there was a law that says you could not do this. There was a law that says you have to de-invest in your business when you become president. Apparently, a lot of it was on an honor system kind of thing, and it was like ethics. Well, ethics you can't go to jail for. Ethics is just like, well, you shouldn't have done that. It needs to be, so his family will go to jail if they do it. Yeah.
There is a lot of things that he's done that he should be in prison for.
Okay, yeah. But apparently there wasn't any mechanisms or something to actually,
When you have a Supreme Court that gives you carte blanche to do whatever the hell you want because you're a former president, and that you can't go to prison, even when you're convicted of 34 felonies. Like, he didn't even spend a night in jail of any kind. And he got 34 convictions. And if you and I got 34 convictions,
sure,
we broke the law 34 times and found guilty of it in a court of law with a jury of our peers.
Mm-hmm.
They would throw our little gay asses under the prison. We'd be getting visits from the prison itself. We'd be in such a hot water, and most normal citizens, especially non-white people, non-straight people, women, any minority or affected group, if I had gotten 34 felonies, probably wouldn't see the light of day from Trump.
Yeah,
this guy didn't even. He not only found guilty. But he still didn't spend one night in jail.
Yeah.
You allow him to be able to run for office, which he wasn't supposed to be on the ballot. There is laws in place. We just chose to ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Those are the loopholes we got to close, don't you think? I mean, we got to be able to put ourselves in a situation. Yeah.
The biggest loophole is allowing a ruling royal class to exist in a democracy and a republic.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
What we have to do is make sure that we don't, just like the Middle Ages had a feudal system, we're basically in an oligarchy feudal system right now. We have people in Congress that have been there 3, 4, 5 decades. We've got 90-year-old senators that have been in Congress for decades.
Sure.
And that institutional graft and that continuing of bad policy will continue when you don't refresh the Congress. There should be an age limit, both for the president and for Congress. Like, there should be a cap, a mandatory retirement age. There also should be nobody in a federal office like that should serve more than 6 years. That includes the Supreme Court and the presidency. We need to rethink how we limit our government is limiting who can run it.
Yeah.
And whoever's running it matters. their character matters, the whole nine yards. And, you know, this is like, if you know the biggest slob in town is the head chef of a restaurant, and you know he eats his boogers, doesn't bathe but once a week, never wears gloves, and he's touching your food, do you not complain to the health department? Do you not hold that restaurant accountable by hiring this guy? And that's what we've done. We've eaten the biggest pants crapper, non-bathing, booger eater is our president of the United States. It makes the leads and guides our country and guides our policies like tariffs and taxation and trade policy. Negotiating peace with other countries. And this von der Leyen is a slob. He's a criminal slob. And we knew he was a criminal slob. We've let this guy run for office 3 times.
I just hope, and I think that we have the ability and hopefully, you know, if you're watching and listening to this show, that you stay engaged in 2026. Don't get so comfortable in assuming someone else is going to fix the issue, that someone else is going to take care of it. As Gersemi has said on her show, but also on this one as well, we've got to, when the midterms come out and the primaries, we've got to vote at record numbers. We've got to vote at percentages that old people vote at. You know, 70, 60, 70%. Heck, I want 100%, but, you know, 70, 60% young people, millennials, Gen Zs.
But it is a two-way street.
Yeah.
The body doesn't die from the toes up. It dies from the head down. The Democrat Party has to get their shit together.
Yeah.
Fast. Like yesterday. We have to give the best offers we can. We've got to stop this anti-trans crap. We've got to stop talking and using word terms like illegals. There's no such thing as an illegal.
Sure.
We've got to change our mentality. We can't go along to get along.
Yeah.
And we don't need to nominate in primaries idiots like that. We don't need problematic people. We don't need the also rans, the people that have run before that left out of scandal, like the former governor of New York running for the mayor.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
we got to stop allowing that to happen. We got to stop allowing outside the party influences to decide who we nominate for president and other positions. We've got to stick to our principles, stick to our guns, and so to speak, and we've got to do a better job, and we've got to present our candidates and have our candidates really tell us in a short, succinct message what they're going to do and what apply for the job properly. Our part as the voters.
You know, I know you and I. I know you and I. Yeah, I know in 2025, you and I had this conversation a lot, and I know we will in 2026. But I'm wondering, I'm just going to leave with this thought, and then we're going to go to this last commercial. First of all, if you like what you hear from Gersemi, she does have a show that comes on every week. It's called Two Queers in a Truck. It drops at 11:30 every Wednesday. Please subscribe, follow, and share her show. So anyway, this last commercial is going to talk about that. But before we go to the last commercial, I just want to say, do you think, and I know I've shared this before in 2025, do you think that the criticism about the Democratic Party, because I've heard this a lot, I've heard this not only on other shows as well, a lot of the shows that I watch and so forth, do you think that the criticism of the Democratic Party is based on the lack of, I'm trying to phrase this in a kind of a more positive way. I think there's a misunderstanding of the difference between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. The Democratic Party is never going to be top heavy, ever, because the party itself is so diverse. It's so, there's so many different ideas and facets of it that there's never going to be anyone good enough at the top. But the party is always going to be good locally, regionally, and statewide, which is why you see all these local and regional Democratic parties doing so well in their local regions. But the complaint has always been that we need a strong leader, and so forth. I'm wondering if we're never going to get that because the party is not mono. It's not an old white man party. It's a very diverse party. And so if we had a woman at the top, you would have probably gays that complain that she's not good enough for them, or the Black community, or Hispanic community, or all these different communities. So I'm wondering if we need a leader at the top that basically says, listen, our strength is our diversity, and so I because when you look at the party from a local, like regional standpoint, they're doing very, very well. I mean, you mentioned on your show one of the segments about how the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, how the Democratic lady won even after $25 million of Elon Musk trying to, knock her off. The Wisconsin party did an incredible job of keeping her and having her win. Here in the state of North Carolina, I know that we have some challenges, but we elect a governor, we elect an attorney general. Mecklenburg County is all basically Democratic. So there are pockets of really good leadership. I don't know that we're ever going to see a party like it was back in the Clinton days, or even Obama. So I'm curious what you think about that. I know I didn't want to go into a rabbit hole on that, but because I've heard this conversation on a lot of the other shows that we need a new chairperson already,
Well, what we need to do is stop the stupid.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's a two-parter, is that we need to stop the stupid on the other side.
Sure.
And we got to stop being stupid.
Exactly. Yeah.
The shit we pulled in 2024 was stupid.
Yeah.
We deserved to lose.
Yeah.
We really did. We ran the stupidest presidential race ever.
Mm-hmm.
We had one of the most successful sitting presidents in American history turn this country around, and we didn't build off that. In fact, we abdicated that at the end of 2022 when we handed the Congress back over to the Republicans. We're a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Because the House of Representatives is 400 plus people that are in local races. And we lost that. Why? We lost in a year when women's reproductive rights were taken from them. We lost that year. That's how stupid the Democrat Party is.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to stop our own stupid.
Yep.
We have to remove our heads out of thy asses. We got to start there. We got to clean up our own house.
Good point.
And that's why the leadership in the Democrat Party can't stand erect, because their heads so crammed up their own ass.
Sure.
They can't stand up straight. So it's a real simple policy.
Yeah.
Is we have to stop the stupid on both sides of the house, of the ledger. We have to stop normalizing the stupid of the Republicans and point out how ridiculous they are about their biggest concern is about drag queens and non-existent drug boats in Venezuela. While they burned our economy down with stupid, unneeded tariffs and got us into trade wars, and we're about to get us in a war. We're probably days, if not weeks, from invading Venezuela.
Yeah.
Over nothing. Spending money we don't have in a protracted war we shouldn't be getting into, invading a country all over oil. There's a lot of reasons why we want their specific type of oil as heavy crude, which is what we use for automobiles. The second thing is that we're committing war crimes by blowing up ships in international water that have nothing to do with drug trade, have nothing to do with gun running, and have nothing to do with national security. But our candidates have got to be less stupid.
Yeah.
We don't need a Democrat talking about transgender issues unless they're going to be supportive. We don't need to be chiming in about border security when our border security is just fine. The Biden administration caught more border crossings and more fentanyl than any previous administration. And that's it. That's all we need to do is talk about it and say the border's strong. Our country's not being overrun by undocumented immigrants. And if that is the case, when we go to process them, we need processing that type of stuff better. We need to strengthen our immigration courts and strengthen our processing power and reimagine what we're doing on that. But we shouldn't be allowing the stupidest people in our country dictate groupthink. We've allowed the stupidest people to take over our media. The stupidest people run this country. And we have to stop the stupid. In 2026, we have to stop the stupid.
I completely agree with you. All right. Hey, listen, this last commercial is talks about Gersemi Show and all the other shows. We'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this.
Hey, thanks for listening to us as always on Coffee and Pan Dulce. And just to let you know, we're on all the audio podcast platforms. So work it out or whatever, you can just listen to us. Or if you want to see our bright, shiny faces, we're on YouTube and Facebook. You can even be fans and you can comment on our shows on the Facebook platform and drown out people who don't actually listen to the show but like to fly us. But anyway, we appreciate y'all and very much, and keep on listening so that Christian and I are just not sitting here talking to ourselves. Have a great year.
Hi everybody, this is Yorense from the Esperacast Show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA, go to your nearest homeless shelter, go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is, one, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. Two, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And three, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people died to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who stormed Normandy, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Yorense again from the Esperacast, and all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
Hey y'all, thanks as always for listening to Coffee and Pan Dulce. And guess what? As part of our Cannis Media family of shows, we have a sister show that's been running alongside the Coffee Show for 6 years, 6 seasons. And it's Two Queers in a Truck. And in fact, we've been on air, as it says right behind Christian, as we record this, in case you're watching the video version of this. It's exciting. It's a little different. It comes more from obviously the queer perspective because it's Two Queers in a Truck. And we invite you to listen to it. You don't have to be queer to listen. And I promise it most likely will not give you scabies. I can't 100% verify that, but it's just a medical rumor started by me, actually. But anyway, come out and check us out on our sister show, Two Queers in a Truck, and all the exciting 2025 new shows on the Cannis Media family. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Don't forget to join all the Cannis Media shows in 2026. I hope you enjoy them and you share them, you like them, subscribe, do what you, so we can keep doing what we're doing. You know, I feel as if though we are the unofficial part of the resistance. We have, this show has more, actually this show started as kind of a resistance show in a kind of a way, and we've kind of come full circle. So you know, some of the changes, some of the kind of programming changes you're going to be seeing is normally you would see the Badejo Chronicles and the Jenny Award on during this segment, but we're going to hold those off to the new show that's going to be coming on. It's called it's all Fruits and Nuts. We want to hope you're going to be joining that one. That one's a subscription show, and I'm sure we'll be doing like some free teasers. But please join that show, and we'll be talking about the Pendejo, who wins the Pendejo of the Award and the Jenny Award as well. And so there's a lot of wonderful things. And Gersemi, I'm going to let you end the show to kind of telling us a little bit about that show again for those who have not been keeping up with us.
So we're going to have a new subscriber-only channel that is coming up really, really soon. In fact, it's probably already been announced, and there's already a gateway. If you go on our social media, you can find out how to like and subscribe our social media. But most importantly, how you can see these new special editions, plus some of the stuff that we used to do on the general shows. We're now moving to this platform and some new channels inside. It's all fruits nuts, and it's going to be a wacky, zany, more comedy oriented, a little bit more compact, shorter vignettes, nothing longer than about 8 or 10 minutes, but probably staying between 5 and 8 minutes. Which I'm not sure how we're going to do that, because Christian and I like to talk, if you can't tell already, including this episode, Rainer.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for staying with us. Look forward to that. Look on our Instagram or our Facebook to see the promotions for that. And like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. That's our new phrase for stop the stupid and like and subscribe for 2026. All right, y'all. We'll see you next week in Coffee Pan Dulce. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching Coffee Pan Dulce. And like and subscribe to our social media. And most importantly, look at the new announcements that we have going on in January. And new opportunities, changes to the shows. And our new channel that's going to have multiple sub-shows inside of it. And there's going to be a lot shorter, and a lot more. So there'll be tons of extras, tons of bonuses for 2026. And for the less than a boutique cup of coffee, you can enjoy very, very special versions of Cannis Media shows, including Coffee Pan Dulce, Two Queers in a Truck, and some new specialty items that I think are going to make your day and your month a lot sweeter. Thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And one of our big things is that if you missed any of our other shows, we are on Facebook, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple for the most part, and a bunch of other audio podcast platforms. So if you've missed us, come back. The water's fine. Tip on in. It's 85 degrees here in my imagination. But anyway, we have 332 episodes in the tank. You can pull up any of them. And most of all, we have fresh ones dropping most weeks. And we got 3 more shows coming. Be excited. But as always, thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And look forward to the 2025 season. Thanks, y'all.
Hiya.
Next up, thanks for watching Coffee Pan Dulce. Next up is Two Queers in a Truck. Stay tuned.
Coffee Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee Pan Dulce.
Sounds great.
You sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying to. All I have to say is go. Yes.
As a non-Spanish speaker.
Coffee Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee Pan Dulce.